Today is the 31st of July, it's 2024, it's the last day of July, and we're going to try and find out where we're going today. So not many pieces of paper left in there, but Luna's going to pick one out today, and she's going to tell us where we're going to. Which one are you picking out? Well, let's have a look then. Where are we going to today? It says we're going to Sherborne Old Castle. Wow, I don't think we've been to Sherborne Old Castle before. So let's see what it is. Well, here we are. This is what Luna picked out of the hat today. This is the Old Castle of Sherborne as opposed to Sherborne Castle. So there's two castles in Sherborne. We went to the other castle about 3 years ago and they wouldn't let me film inside. So we've come to this one today. Just to give us some idea, this is a reconstruction. This is where we are now. And we're going to go over through and then have a look to see what remains now of the old castle. And it is just going to go over the drawbridge.
Yeah, and I thought it's nice. It's like, so I had to sort of go to, you know, right, let me not opening the blade opening because it's not funny with the stonemaker. So everyone knows all those. So
I've just been back to the ticket office and I've got myself a little guidebook to be able to find out a little bit more about what we're going over here. And there's a big moat here on both sides. And then through, we can't do any climbing, it says. Big moat on that side as well. But it is a ruin, so you just got to be a little bit careful.
Is that a monkey puzzle tree?
Wow, it's a big empty space, isn't it? And that would be the main castle building. We've got some information. This is all run by English Heritage. So if you actually are a member and you have English Heritage, then this is one of the places that would be included. The King's Man, that's Bishop Roger. Sherborne Old Castle was built by Bishop Roger of Sarum in 1120s as a magnificent rural retreat. In front of you are the remains of the central buildings, the heart of the medieval castle. The castle was built on top of the 7th or to 10th century cemetery. Probably unaware of the graves on the hill, the castle builders flattened the land and built the tower and the great hall. At the time of building the castle, Bishop Roger was England's most powerful royal advisor, but his origins are thought to have been humble. He was born in the late 1060s in Normandy, where he is said to have been a priest of a chapel. Here, Henry, younger son of William the Conqueror, met him and employed him as a clerk. When Henry became king in 1100, he made Roger his chancellor. Roger managed the king's finances and many other aspects of the royal administration. He was made Bishop of Sarum in 1102, after which he spent lavishly on new buildings across the diocese estate. So we can have a walk around. It's been all now landscaped, really, all gardens, lawned. There's some seats there, and got the main walls around the outside. And there's a few other people here, but mainly none. This is what's left of the structure. You can see that it was actually much bigger. It's interesting, some of it is actually in good condition, and then some of it just disappeared altogether.
When does this date from, Mr. Guide?
1100s.
A bit like the cathedral.
So there are some parts we can actually go into here where it's gravelled. Nice column there, with a capital on the top.
A bit like Golden Abbey, Steve.
And then you can have a inside. Sit down, empty your shoe.
Some areas roped off. I'm guessing it must be unsafe. Workers maybe on the other side. Must have been a really grand building back in the day. Oh yes, there are people working on it. They've got to just check to see, I suppose, if any of the stones are loose and secure them. Phew. Job for a climber, I'm afraid. Not for me. All they're doing there, they're going up and they're just checking, see if there are any loose bits.
I'm glad to be relieved of it. Especially as it wasn't ever really paid to do it. Right. I mean, a lot of the time it would just be.
Go over here, there's another sign. Have a look, see what that says. Some fantastic views. We've actually changed county now. We were before in Somerset and now we're in Dorset. And this is showing the North Gate and Barbican. The North Gate did not serve as a defensive purpose, it was simply used as access and may have occasionally been a ceremonial entrance to the castle. And look, we can go down there and that will take us all the way down to the moat, and we can actually do the moat walk. In the distance we've got the railway line as well. And there we can see a little bit of remains of the castle wall. We go way back to the main ruins of the castle. The girls are watching the workmen.
Let's see the one.
I mean, weirdly, it's kind of solid. Just don't trust the look of it.
My captain.
Yeah. Ooh.
No.
I don't really like that.
Spider.
Just go along here to the end. There's a bench over there. It's actually the window I was just looking out of. See little mounds of earth here. These are mole hills. We have a lot of moles here, little furry rodents that burrow away underneath the soil and then leave their little piles. Some more ruins over here. It's nice how on the pictures they've actually done some reconstructions, so you can see what it would have been like in its finery all those years ago. But obviously there's the door, the building's missing. We're now over on the far side, so we just left the main building and we're now here. And the entranceway, which must have been there, and this is the northeast gatehouse, and the outer court gateway here was effectively the tradesman's entrance, where supplies of work and workmen and women visitors used to come through. Outside the gatehouse was a large outer court, so that's this part here. And the outer court formed a settlement with lodgings for grooms, servants, and those not permitted within the castle walls, as well as stables and other outbuildings. By the 16th century, these buildings were demolished and the settlement moved to Castleton, located near the main castle entrance. The remains of the outer court were partly buried beneath the earth, and well, we'll see what we can see. So that's just out here now. And this is the moat as well. Big earth mounds. Nice shady spot. So what we have in front of us now, and you have to use your imagination a lot, would be the kitchen and the well. Surviving evidence of buildings mostly demolished in the 16th century suggests that the kitchen was fully equipped to cater for the demands of the castle community. The kitchen was located close to the well, ensuring a nearby supply of water for cooking and cleaning. In addition, the well provided drinking water for the whole household. The higher status residents also drank wine with their meals. The castle community, from the castle's owner to kitchen servants, could sometimes number about 150 men, women and children. Not everyone lived in the castle. Those who did were entitled to daily food portions, in addition to the 2 daily set meals, midday and in the evening. I guess the kitchen would have been somewhere there, and well, this looks like the well. Fortunately, it's all sealed over. So this is where the Great Hall would have been. This was the centre of the social activities within the castle. The Great Hall was used for formal meals and to feed the castle community. It was mostly demolished when Sir Walter Raleigh took ownership of the castle in the 1890s. Set at ground level, the hall had high walls and was open to the roof. As usual for a medieval hall, there would be high end near the west wall, where the bishop entered via a door from the courtyard and sat at his table, and at the low end, where the less important guests sat, they and the servants used the doors behind you and onto the left. The hall was heated by a fire, open hearth set in the floor. Smoke from the fire would rise high into the roof space and escape through a small opening in the roof. Although little remains of the Great Hall, a fragment of the decoration survives on the west wall in the form of a horizontal course of dressed stones with chevrons, the zigzag mouldings. Excavation has also suggested that at one point the floor was covered in glazed tiles with a checkered pattern. And this would have been the inner courtyard, and it would have provided a quiet space removed from the bustle of the wider castle. A sheltered walkway surrounded the courtyard, so all of this area around here would actually have been covered over so we could have walked out. This tranquil space was previously thought to have been built by Bishop Roger to resemble the cloister of a monastery. In fact, cloister-like enclosures were common at castles, but simply rarely survive. And there we've got the tall surviving part. This is the Great Tower, rising above all other parts of the building, and provided private accommodation on the first and second floors for the Bishop Roger and his most esteemed guests. The ground floor undercroft was used for storage. Each floor was originally split in half by a solid dividing wall. At ground level, a wall with large arches. On the first floor there was an arcade on the second floor. One of the arcade pillars was removed to the ground floor in the 16th century and still stands here today. In 1592, the colonisers, courtiers, and writer Sir Walter Raleigh persuaded Queen Elizabeth I to grant him the lease of the castle. Soon after, he abandoned works on the old castle, preferring to modify the hunting lodge behind you into what became the Sherborne New Castle. So this is the old castle, and if we look over here in the distance, we can see the new castle. This is actually a stately home we have visited before. About 3 years ago we were there. Unfortunately not allowed to video inside, but we did video the gardens. Just down there, actually down below there, you can actually see the moat and the wall there. So this is still would be inside the main castle area. One of the gates, we can actually walk up and walk down and have a look into the moat, which is quite a long way down there. And the wall which survives. It's a shame that Sir Walter Raleigh didn't look after this old castle. It would have been a magnificent building if he had, preferring the newer building. How amazing is it to have this whole castle all to ourselves?
Ya está, gracias. Ya está, gracias. Look, the seagulls are coming back.
Well, we just had a lovely time here at the old castle of Sherborne, and really interesting place, lovely gardens, and well, the girls have enjoyed having a run around as well. So thanks very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.